going to wait. Looks like we have a student potential student still connecting. So let's wait and see. Is that Michaela? Did I say that right? If you can hear me, just raise your hand. Well, it looks like we got some technical trouble going on out there. Hey, Michaela, can you hear me? Just raise your hand if you can hear me. Okay, cool. Teresa, can you hear me? Looks like you're still trying to connect. Teresa, if you can hear me but can't respond, just tell me in the chat that you can hear what I'm saying, and then we'll get started. Okay, good, great. Thank you, Teresa. Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the Information Technology Programs webinar. We're gonna get you guys some information about our program, but let's start with who we are. I'm Ralph Russo. I'm the Director of Information Technology Programs at Tulane University. Bill Riles, my Associate Director, will not be joining us today, and we've got our academic advisor for the program, Brittany Yandel, with us, and she'll be talking to you a little later on in the presentation. So next. So about Tulane School of Professional Advancement. The Tulane University was founded in 1834 as the Medical College of Louisiana. Why is it important? Why is that important? Because the university, the entire university, which is a top 50 US university, was started to educate working people, adults, and then traditional learners after a fashion. The School of Professional Advancement in iterations began offering classes specifically in 1886, but from its very beginning, the university was founded to pass knowledge into the general population, into the community, into working people, into career changes, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of baked into our DNA. So, and we've been doing it for a long, long time. So why Tulane School of Professional Advancement? There's a lot of good things to say about it, but the school has been educating, as we said, working people, career changers, traditional students. They're all in my program. You'll find all these different types of students, but we're not new to this. It's been happening for a long time. So the trials and tribulations of being, for example, someone who's got a full-time job and attending school at night, these are things we're used to. These are problems and challenges that we're used to solving with our students. You're not going to find that your working or family responsibilities and working responsibilities are not able to be handled by the university. We're used to doing it. And at the same time, you're going to get a Tulane University quality education and hopefully a diploma from a top 50 university. So next. And we're going to find out more about affordability and later on in the discussion. The School of Professional Advancement is far less expensive than the Tulane's Newcomb Tulane College, but you are in effect a full Tulane student. If you're in New Orleans, you can pop into the university, use the library, use the facilities, join clubs, anything that any other student can do at Tulane, you can do. It's just that you would be a student of information technology in the School of Professional Advancement. So online learning, and this is important because online is not online. You'll see a lot of schools advertise online learning, and it means different things to different people. Let me tell you a little bit how we do it, right? Our learning management system, which is Canvas, which you will be using to interact with most, if not all, of your courses, has been integrated and has been built up to support our courses, making things like knowing what's due, ways to upload assignments, having those assignments checked, grading, feedback, discussions. These things are all handled, pretty. It's the user interface is pretty intuitive, and these are all handled. Our courses are built, and this is the important part of it. When we build a course, we take 6 months, and we take a subject matter expert, we take a PhD instructional designer, and we take a graphics team, and we put them together for 6 months, and they build your course. So you're not getting a course that was kind of a canned course or built by some other organization. It's built by instructional design, by subject matter experts at Tulane for you. And the people building it are people who do it every day. So while these, we're going to talk more about academic and applied knowledge as we go through, but you should understand that these are Tulane quality classes. And they're built to be intuitive and to help you learn the material. Short videos, interactive graphics, those kind of things to help you learn. And of course, we have Zoom just like this, where we can get students and faculty together, whether it's, and we'll talk more about different types of online classes, but we have these type of experiences so that you can have interactions with both your peers and your instructor. Next. So I'd mentioned about online, right? When quality, scale, depth. So this is not something we're new to, but what I did want to say while we look at this is we have several types of online classes. One, we have synchronous online classes and asynchronous, and we have both, and you can take either or if you sign up for a degree at information technology degree. So what does that mean? A synchronous online course meets once a week through Zoom, and the instructor's live, the students are live, the cameras are on, just like going to a classroom, right? Asynchronous, it doesn't meet weekly. Most of the learning and interaction takes place via the learning management system, which is Canvas, although once a month there's a non-required synchronous session with your instructor, so that you could, once a month, you could pop in and just have a session with your instructor, with your classmates, get to know people, review an assignment. And of course, your faculty have office hours for you to meet with them. So the online experience can be pretty interactive and networking, or if your schedule doesn't allow for that, you could go fully asynchronously online, but still have the opportunity to meet with the faculty member and your peers. So next. So the bachelor's degree, can I just ask everybody, is there anybody here? I know there was 1 or 2 folks that were interested in masters. Is there anybody here who's maybe seeking a bachelor's degree? Can you drop it in the chat if you are? So, or Anne, if you could tell me if any of the participants are interested in a bachelor's degree. I don't think there is. Okay, so since this, if you want me to cover the bachelor's degree stuff, just let me know in the chat right now. If not, I'll move on to the master's. Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so let's move on. Okay, so at the Master of Science level, we've got a Master of Science in IT Management with potential for concentrations in cybersecurity, emergency operations, or homeland security. You're not required to take any of those. They're available if you want a concentration, but the Master of Science is in IT Management. And then we've got a Master of Science in Cybersecurity Management. Both of those degrees have capstone courses. Both of those degrees will support you earning certifications, professional certifications, without taking extra coursework. So you could, for example, as an IT management master's student or as a cybersecurity management, you can take a certified ethical hacking professional cert class, and then actually go test for the cert, or Security Plus, or a Cloud Plus, or other ITIL, DevOps, the professional certs from organizations like EC Council or CompTIA. We offer courses in those, and they can apply as electives to your degree. So when you get your degree, not only will you have a Master of Science from Tulane University, you would have a professional certification from an outside group like CompTIA, like ServiceNow, like AWS, like EC Council, and then on top of that, you would have a capstone project, which is a full project. Oftentimes, it's a real project for a real company. Even when it's not that, it's designed to give you to solve a real world problem. So you would have a capstone project with you to bring with you and show people the level of work you could do. You would have a master's degree, a Master of Science from Tulane University, and you might have some professional certifications. And your advisor, Brittany Yandel, and I can help you schedule that out. None of those things would require you to take extra classes. You could fit them into your the Master of Science in Cybersecurity Management is 33 credits or 11 courses, and the Master of Science in IT Management is 30 credits or 10 courses. So that's a little bit about, and I'm going to take all your questions when we get to the end. So if you got any of those, you can just drop them in the chat, and we promise to answer them. So next up, for anybody who's interested in a graduate certificate, 5 of these are targeted certificates in, for example, cyber defense is going to be technical courses to defend enterprise systems. Cyber leadership would be governance, policy, process, procedure for cybersecurity, for a cybersecurity outfit, organization, group. Same thing, strategic planning would be overall service management and IT governance policy from that perspective. Technology architecture is going to be more of a technical IT management type of a certificate, and data science and cloud, which will also encompass AI and go deep on data, is designed. There is one certificate though we're going to speak about separately, but each one of those, you should know, each certificate will stack into your master's program. So if you started at the university by taking a IT strategic planning graduate certificate, when you finish that, if you wanted to pursue the IT management Master of Science, you could use all the credits from that strategic planning certificate and apply them towards your Master of Science degree. So they stack into your master's. Same thing with, for example, cyber defense. You can get that certificate, and those courses and those credits will stack into your cybersecurity management Master of Science degree. So I think that's great. So you could actually leave with a Master of Science degree, a graduate certificate or two, a professional certification, and a capstone project on your resume. And that's powerful stuff. And I'll tell you a little bit more about our jobs program as we move forward. But so there's that. And next, this is the one certificate I didn't mention in the last slide. If you don't have an IT undergraduate degree or a comp sci undergraduate degree or any other type of IT-based bachelor's degree, but you want to sign up for graduate certificate or for a Master of Science degree, how do you do that? You're lacking the fundamentals, but you think it's beneficial to you and your career to go ahead and get that master's. Well, the way we do it is this: we have a cyber fundamentals graduate certificate. This one is, while the other ones are 4 courses, this is a 6-course, 18 credit hour certificate. And it's going to get you all the foundational IT skills necessary to be admitted into the master's program. These courses don't count towards your master's. They prepare you and get you foundational knowledge so that you can be admitted into the master's program. all you need to get into the Cyber Fundamentals Graduate Certificate program is a 3.0 at the undergraduate level and a bachelor's degree in something. So if you have a bachelor's degree in English and you have a 3.2 GPA, you would qualify to take this. Once you completed this Cyber Fundamentals Graduate Certificate, if you had a 3.0 or better in the certificate work, we would automatically admit you into the master's program if that's what you wanted to do. So it's a bridge certificate. So, but that's pretty exciting for people who are looking to maybe change their life around, get into really high-paying jobs, change your direction and bolster your skills. You don't have to go backwards for another bachelor's. You could go forwards using a bridge certificate and then into a master's program or a grad cert. So next. So Tulane SoPA difference. And, so there are a lot of online IT programs out there. What do we think makes us special? And we hope you agree. First of all, it's affordable. It's a top 50 university for not much more than you, if indeed it's any more than a top ranked state school, right? So it's comparable and affordable. So for a top 50 United States university, that's a big deal that it's both affordable and so highly thought of. Here's some other stuff that you folks might find interesting. So we have a Women in Technology mentorship program where we have volunteers from industry who are female and they've reached a high level of achievement. They are VPs, CTOs, CIOs, CEOs, directors, executive directors, and they volunteered to mentor you, not in homework help, not in stuff related to your coursework, but in how to adjust and succeed at the corporate level as a woman entering the field. So we know that in the past, there's been several studies that talk about the culture not being welcoming. We solved that by, and I'll get to those questions. We will get all of those. And I know somebody very well, by the way, who transitioned from a career in NYPD to the IT field. And so I see that question in the chat. So our industry advisory board, which is my advisory board that tells me whether our courses are useful in industry, whether our degrees are useful, how could they be made better, what should we be doing. My executive advisory board includes the ex-CIO of the Department of Defense, the ex-CIO of the state of California, Microsoft, Google, DXC, you name it, cybersecurity insurance companies, high-level bank cybersecurity folks. So we've got a really, really strong advisory board, which feeds into our program. So what are you learning in these degrees? Are you getting technical stuff, or are you getting soft skills, or are you doing both? What do these degrees get you? And our perspective is that we're getting you both applied skills and academics. We're getting you both. And that means your classes not only give you technical skills, we've got over 400 labs, which are included in different courses. You obviously wouldn't take all of them, but we have labs, hands-on labs that you'd be doing so that you're familiar with technology. The labs walk you through. They're not there to trick you or to force you to stay up all night sweating. They'll walk through labs, but they help you understand that when you say, let's set up a segmented network via a system of firewalls and how best to do that, you may go in and actually set up a firewall or defeat a firewall or configure a firewall. And so that you, when you get out into industry and we hope you'll be top leaders, when you get out there, you'll not only know the governance, policy, and process, you will know the technical, you will have familiarity with the technical parts necessary to make informed decisions, right? So that says 250 labs. We have over 400 now. So that's a correction there. And again, you can earn industry certs. You don't need to take you don't test in for the master's program. And you don't test in for the bachelor's either, for that matter. So no GRE required. We talked about how to stack certificates into your master's program. And the flipped classroom model, we talked a little bit about that when we talked about use of Canvas and different type of online courses. So as you can see, we've got a lot going for us there. And your courses will make you, will prepare you for the real world while being top academic. Now, there's something not on this slide, which is pretty important for you to know, because it just happened in the last 2 weeks. We were recently, unless Ann snuck it in there and I didn't see it, but we were recently awarded ABET accreditation for our undergraduate programs. ABET is the highest level of accreditation for technology and engineering in the world. There is no higher level of accreditation. We were formally notified last week that our programs had been awarded that. And so that shows you the level of academic strength and fealty to best practice that we have. So that's our academic side. On the applied side, our industry board, our labs, our real world process, they're going to help you understand the real world application of your academic knowledge. So we feel like we're pretty strong on both sides. But perhaps our most valuable feature is on the next slide, is our faculty. Our faculty are real world leaders. They're real world experts who are practicing and leading every day what they're teaching to you. So it's not just an academic concept or a technical concept in a textbook for them. It's an academic concept and a technical concept that they could talk to you about. How does it used in real world? What are its strengths? What are its weaknesses? What do you balance it against? What are the challenges? How do you implement it in an existing, for example, in an existing network or infrastructure? You're going to get real world application from these. So for example, Michelle Bousquet, not only is she a top level digital forensics consultant, she has her own very popular cybersecurity podcast on the web that a lot of people listen to. Joe D'Alessandro is actually co-located in Australia and teaches some of his classes from Australia. They are the best of the best. And I encourage you to go, when I finish giving my piece and I turn it over to Brittany, I'm going to drop in a link to my faculty page into the chat. So you folks could go ahead and look at the faculty and look at their biographies. They're pretty amazing. So faculty may be the best thing of all. Next slide. The next slides for bachelor's programs and for master's programs, they're just some examples of jobs that you can get. But the reality is there is no slide that can show you all the jobs you'd be qualified for with these degrees. First of all, every company, not every company, but many companies call the same role by a different name, right? But these are just some examples of things. For example, at the Bachelor of Science level, we've got a concentration called Enterprise Systems and Cloud. And those would be sysadmins, network admins, cloud administrators, cloud engineers. Then you'd have designers, and you'd have architects, and you've had analysts and scrum masters and product managers and project managers. At the undergraduate level, we've got a concentration called product and program support, which covers product management, program management, Scrum, Agile, Waterfall, you name it. And we've also got an app dev concentration at the Bachelor of Science level, which would be application developers and of all stripes and in multiple languages. So, and we also have jobs in DevOps and governance, governance and service management type positions. So what I'm telling you is we could not fit all the roles that you'd be qualified to break into. Same thing at the master's level. You could take a few of those, but we've had students go on to become, just from what I can see, just about every job on this list. We've had folks go on to do those jobs. And it's not just the education though, it's the industry certification, it's the capstone project knowledge, it's the labs, it's also our ability to get you plugged into industry, which I'd like to talk to a little bit about right here. So, okay, so there's all these jobs out there and we've got this great program. How do you get to the jobs? Well, I'm partnered with dozens, just so many of them from my own real world experience. We're partnered with dozens of people in private industry who are looking for talent. And there is not a week that goes by that I don't send several job notices just to my students. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to look for it. It pops right into your email. I sent one this morning for a local cybersecurity company who's looking for a mid-level cybersecurity engineer. And I have a student who's got their Security Plus from taking a class here, and certified ethical hacking from taking a class here. And they're going to interview for the job, and they go in there with all of this knowledge and experience and a Tulane degree. So there are no guarantees. A lot of it is how you apply yourself and whether you go the extra mile. But yeah, we're going to get to those questions. I promise that there's a great questions I see them popping up. But we're going to get to all those. But suffice it to say that a lot of people are interested in hiring Tulane graduates and that are coming from our program, and that would get pushed right to your phone or to your desktop by me. It's a very important part of what we do here. So next slide. Credit for prior learning. Britt, did you want to take it from here?
Sure, I will go ahead and jump in. Can everyone hear me? Okay, great. So we're going to talk about credit for prior learning, which is a great way for students at SoPA to earn credit for previous work or life experience from inside of the field. So if you maybe don't have a degree in IT, but you've been working in IT for 10, 12 years, you might have some credit that we might be able to put into course credit, essentially. Take your life credit, put it into course credit. So for undergraduates, you can receive up to 24 credits for prior learning, and graduate students can receive up to 6 credits. So this also includes the portfolio assessment for assessing your work and life experience, and also any military or military training or any professional examinations. Alrighty, so student support and success. So as a Tulane student, you will have a dedicated academic advisor. Every SoPA student has a dedicated advisor. You also will have a dedicated financial aid advisor available to you through Tulane, so it's also something to keep in mind. As Rob has already talked about, we have expert faculty with industry experience, so all of your courses will be led by people who are in the field and have the knowledge and the experience. You also have a network of program peers and other Tulane alumni. So once you graduate, you're automatically put into our Tulane alumni network, which is huge. So if you're looking for a job or just looking to connect with someone from a company that there's a Tulane grad there, you can use that alumni network to get those connections and get that information. We also have a career advisor here at SoPA. So not only do you have an academic advisor and a financial aid advisor, but you also have a career advisor. She can work with you on mock interviews, building resumes, even searching for jobs, editing your LinkedIn, basically any aspect of the job search can help you with. Affordability. So tuition is subject to change at the start of each academic year. So that's in the fall of each year. So for the current 2022-2023 year, we have undergraduate tuition at $596 a credit. Graduate tuition is $1,158 per credit. Keep in mind that classes are 3 credits each. So if you're trying to figure out the math for how much one course will count, you'll want to take these numbers, whether you're undergrad or grad, multiply them by 3. So each course is 3 credits. We do accept financial aid. There are a lot of different options for financial aid. You can work with your counselor to submit the FAFSA form for federal grants or any government issued aid. We also have the Yellow Ribbon Program for military and veterans. We have a 20% tuition discount, and that kind of covers a large umbrella of students. So military and veterans, any active or retired public safety personnel, if you graduated from a minority serving institution, you would qualify. If you're interested in seeing more about that, you can reach out to me, or you can search the website and find the full link to see if you qualify. And then, of course, we have the up to 6 or 24 credit hours for work and life experience. Applying is very simple, and if you're on the call today, your $40 or $50 application fee is waived, whether you're applying for an undergrad or graduate program. So the only thing you'll need is to have a clear image of a government issued ID ready to go. Your transcripts, they should be sent electronically from your institution. So that's an official transcript. Usually you can order those online and have them sent pretty quickly via PDF over to SoPA. You can also send them via snail mail. So if you'd rather them come hard copy, that works too. So application requirements, Ralph touched on this a little bit earlier. So for the BA or BS degree, you would be looking for, or for the graduate students, you would be looking for a BA or BS degree with a major in math, computer information, computer science, information sciences, engineering, anything along those lines. Or a BA without a computer major, but you have significant computing coursework and 3 to 5 years of professional experience. You also want to have a grade point average of 3.0 or higher on a 4.0 scale. Graduate students, you will also need to upload a resume or a CV. And then keep in mind that there is no GRE required, so you don't need to worry about sending scores over. Application deadlines, if you have your phone or if you want to screenshot this screen, that might be good to have these dates written down. So for summer, you would want to get your application in by May 1st. For spring, that would be January 1st, so you have some time there. And then of course for fall, that's August 1st. We also have what we call an early enrollment scholarship each semester. So this only applies to your very first semester of enrolling. And if you enroll by the deadlines listed here for each semester, you can receive for undergraduates a $200 scholarship towards your first semester, or for graduate students, a $500 scholarship towards your first semester. So the next semester we'd be looking at is spring, so you would want to get registered by December 1st to get that scholarship. All right, and here's contact information for Ralph and Bill, and I am going to drop my email in the chat. And if you have any questions, now is a great time to jump off of mute and give us a chat.
Okay. Did we want to get to questions, Brett? Okay, great. So I see some questions. First of all, I dropped some links in. First link I dropped in was the main page of for IT. Second one is straight to the faculty page. Third one is our academic partnerships with businesses for certification. So let's get to some questions. The first question is, Teresa asks, I'm looking for a career change, 20 years in law enforcement. How can you leverage it? Well, I can tell you that military and law enforcement lend themselves pretty well to cybersecurity. The physical security and digital cybersecurity have a lot in common. So let's take that conversation offline, Teresa, and we can talk about it. I don't want to ask you personal stuff in the main meeting, but if you want to hang back a little, I can spend a minute or two with you. Does that sound good? Well, hang back if you can. The next question is this program 100% online? Is on-campus option available? So are we, Gloria, we talking about the undergraduate program or the graduate programs? Suffice it to say that the graduate degrees are 100% online. Undergraduate is either online or on campus. We offer both. So hopefully that answers your question. And graduate, yeah, so Gloria, then it's 100% online. Now, online could mean meeting once a week by Zoom like this, or it could mean asynchronous classes where you go into your course in Canvas when you have time, you do your work, and then maybe once a month you pop on with your instructor to sync up or hit your instructor up during office hours. Did that answer that? All right. What else? What else do you guys have any other questions for me? Happy to answer them. We have time. Michaela, did you get the information you needed? If you have questions, don't be shy.
Yes, I was able to get the information I needed.
All right, fantastic. Okay. Last chance to drop a question in the chat. I'm going to put my email address in the chat. Make sure to grab it out of there before the meeting ends so it doesn't disappear on you. That's my email address. And if you guys have a follow-up question, you could reach out to Brittany Andrew, who also dropped her email address in there, or to me directly by email, or both of us. And we'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have.
I did just think of a question.
Sure.
Do we have to do anything special to get the application fee waived? Like, do we need to send our email to anyone or?
No, Brittany, talk about that, please.
Yeah, so you will automatically be in our system after this webinar as having attended. Now, if you do submit an application and it asks you for a fee, just go ahead and send either Ralph or I an email, and then we'll reach out to admissions and make sure someone logs in and waives that for you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. See, that's a great question. Don't be shy. Just jump right in on those. Well, that's it then. Teresa, if you want to hang back, you and I can talk. Just stay on after everybody gets off, and I can answer your direct question that you asked of me. So, okay. You're very welcome, Gloria, and thank you everybody for joining. We appreciate your time, and we've got some great stuff to offer you. Have a great day.